Hey guys, Josh Meyer Garage. This is a little different than what I usually do, but I need a break from my garage reno. So today I thought it was a perfect day. It's cold out, chilly out. I don't feel like heating the garage to work on my ductwork. So anyways, what I got here is a Monstermoto 80cc, 2.5 horsepower pit bike. I bought it basically so I can go up down my driveway, go visit my neighbors because they're pretty far away, and just tinker around, and also get my nephew to ride around and get him used to a bike. When he first got on, he goes, "Wow, this thing is fast." And the next day he got on, he was home. He's like, full pinned, going on the house, and then I can see he's getting bored of it. This thing is very underpowered. It's only 2.5 horsepower, but unfortunately, like a Z50 or a PW80 or something like that, they don't have gears, so it's a one-speed. Anyways, you get it going. The RPMs, that's your gearbox basically. With myself on about 185 pounds, it has a full throttle. It has a hard time moving me. Once you get going, it does, I don't know, 35, 40, 50 kilometers an hour. I don't know, I haven't speedometer, but I think it was 40 kilometers the fastest I got without hitting the governor. If I put my niece on the back of it, she's probably 45 pounds. I have to kick it to get it going. The motor just doesn't want to rev up. It chugs. The clutch engages, it just chugs. My nephew rides it, and I can see he's getting bored of it. Anyways, regardless, my plan was to swap it out. So most of you guys in the States usually do the 212 Predator motor, but unfortunately in Canada we don't have access to that motor. Well, we do, but shipping wise and everything and duty, it's going to cost me 100 to 150 bucks more for the motor. So basically Princess Isle is like our Harbor Freight for you guys. This motor supposedly has 6.5, 7 horsepower. I've done some reviews online and they're good for maybe quarter horsepower difference. Who knows? We'll see. But anyways, I got this kit from Hot Rod Minibike, I think it's called. It's a pretty good kit. I have money in PayPal, so I said screw it. All this is bought by old Mazda parts. I had old Mazda speed parts I sold, so I bought this crap here. So basically, this kit's actually pretty good. I like fabbing stuff, but unfortunately right now my garage isn't done. I just want to pay for something and ride. So basically, it comes with the HRM engine mount aluminum steel plate. It's supposed to put the engine in the right geometry to get fit in there because it's pretty tight. I don't want to cut anything. It comes with a chain guard. A lot of you guys online ride with no chain guards and your pant legs and stuff, and yeah, it's just a recipe waiting for something to happen. Especially if I get the other kids this thing, I don't want them getting snagged up in a chain. This guard's pretty thick. It's about 1/8 inch aluminum. It's pretty decent. It comes with exhaust pipe. Goes under the seat like this. The velocity stack for the carburetor. All the pieces I need to mount the engine. The spring for the throttle cable, spark plug, jets for the carb, a low profile cap, because unfortunately the fuel tank in this thing is in the middle, not on the side like it is here, so it's going to be a little bit more pain in the butt to get access to. I got him to cut me a chain also, so suppose this is all bolt on, we'll see. I got a 12 tooth clutch. I was going to get a 13 tooth clutch, but I really don't care about top end speed. I just want bottom end power, but from what I'm seeing online, this bike is so short, all it wants to do is wheelie, so I went with 12 to kind of keep the stress down on the clutch also. And it comes with the an air filter. It's going to mount on the side there. And I got the 208cc motor from Princess Auto. It was on sale for I think 130 bucks Canadian, so that's like 90 some bucks American. So anyways, and the thing is, if this motor blows up, I bring it back to Princess Auto and get another one, and I'm back riding. So I'm going to do the swap now, so follow me along, and hope this video will help someone. This is my first time doing this kind of thing on a mini bike, so it's not rocket science, so I'll give it a try and you guys can follow along. Alright, so first things first, I'm going to take the chain guards off. There's 2 bolts right here. There's a bolt top of the engine right here. It's a 10 mil. These are 2 Phillips right here. There's one on the bottom of the engine by the oil dipstick in the bottom here. It just slides off. So there's one here, one here, one here, and the 2 bolts, 2 Phillips right here, and it comes off. Now there's a back chain guard right here. It's just a Phillips in the back of the by the axle assembly. Probably easier to pull the rear fender off. 2 bolts right here on the sides. There's one here, one on the other side, one in the front. Okay guys, so there's basically 2 Phillips right here. 2 Phillips heads right here. That's the cross one. There's a nut here, a nut down there, a nut here, and then this whole assembly pulls off, pulls forward. You can keep this, chocolate, whatever you want to do with it. I'm gonna pull the rear fender bolts out, so there's one here, one right here, and there's one in the front right here. So basically once the bolts are off the rear fender, splash shield, pop it off, get it out of the way, and you can pull the rear chain guard up, it'll pull right out, pull forward and pull out. Next thing you want to take off is the throttle cable. It's a number 8, I believe, or it's Phillips. I have this nice little right-hand ratchet here. It works pretty good, taking it off, taking bolts hidden behind the object off. So basically, take your Phillips, put a 10 mil wrench on here, and then turn this off. I loosened mine up. Mine was very loose. So loosen the Phillips up. You can even take it out if you really want to. But just loosen it up. Pull your cable out. There's an end block on it. So you might have to pull the nut out a little further. So a little tip for you guys to get a pair of vice grips or a pair of pliers. This is aluminum little cap to keep the phrase from cutting anybody open. Just squish the opposite way and it pops right off, and keep it for your new swap. And basically the cable comes out. Pull it out of the way. There's a zip tie right here. Cut that off, and then we're gonna pull the wiring, 2 wires off right here. Bolt right here. Take it right out. And your kill switch is unhooked now. Just pull it all forward here, along with your throttle cable out of the way so you don't kink it. Put the bolt back in so you don't lose it. You might need it later on. Now you cut your zip tie, guys. Your throttle cable's out of the way. There's 1 bolt on the bottom here you gotta take off for the cuff switch. It's number 8. It's on the fan shroud. Alright, so next, guys, you're gonna basically loosen the chain tension up. It's 10 mil, back you off, and basically gonna loosen the engine mount. There's 2 10s in the front and then 2 13 mils in the bottom, and it's the opposite for the back. Loosen those up. Slide the engine back, pop the chain out, pull the bolts out, pull the engine out. So here we go. 10 mils on top and 13 mils on the bottom. Loosen those up. And it's the opposite for the back. The 10s are on the bottom, 13s on top. Loosen this off and then loosen the chain up. Pull the chain off to the side, you can pull it out and basically pull the engine out. There's also a bolt in the front of the engine here that pulls the plate, it pulls the engine forward. So loosen that up. Alright guys, now basically the engine's loose. I left the one bolt in because the bike's tilting, so you can pop the chain off, just tilt the engine back and walk it off and pull it off. Pull the last bolt out here. Mine's just finger tight. And this little 80cc weed whacker engine is out. So, give her a quick cleaning, guys, and then we'll start doing the install of the new kit. Okay, the little 80cc is out. I want to see what's in this engine package. Get it ready to swap in. This is the exact same motor as the 212. The same outside physical dimensions, just 4cc different. I think it's just a 1mm stroke difference. That means the piston goes down 1 more millimeter to get that extra 4 cc's. So that makes the 212 a stroker. So there you go. That's the difference between his two sides of the motor. It's a little bit different in size, eh guys? So like I said, the gas cap business center, he gave me a lower profile one, so hopefully it sits down lower. I'm hoping this gas tank breather doesn't interfere with the frame. We're gonna find out soon. Weight wise, pretty close. Hey guys, since on this swap I won't be using exhaust. I don't even know if it fits. You'll have to check with the online. But basically there's 2 8mm on top to hold the shroud. And there's the exhaust. And there's 2 on the side here. Hey guys, since we're not using exhaust on my application, I'm not sure if it even fits the chassis, but I'm taking it off. You'll have to check with the guys online. So basically 2 8mm on the top, and there's 2 on the side here in the back of the shroud. And keep those nuts, they're chrome. You might need them for something else. And And then there's two 10 mil, or actually these are bigger than 12. These are like probably 13 mils maybe. Yeah, 13 mils right here. Loosen those off. And the exhaust comes off. Rock it off gently because you want to keep the exhaust manifold gasket. And because the engine hasn't run, it shouldn't be baked on. It should pop off. It's a graphite gasket. I'm going to take a razor blade and peel it off so I don't break it. Another tip is put a piece of rag in the exhaust port so you don't drop anything down there when you're working on stuff. Also, I won't be using the intake on this application, but from what I've seen, this intake will fit the Monstermoto frame with some modifications. Two 10 mils right here. And gently walk this off. Also, there's gas behind there you don't need. I don't want this thing coming off. This is the crankcase breather hose. I'll have to get a breather for it also. And also there's, on my engine here, there's a hookup for the gas tank vent. So, pop that off. And since we're putting an air filter and exhaust on this thing, we're going to flow more air. So we're going to need more fuel. So we include, and also the velocity stack's going to help it flow more air. So basically this piece goes on here, like so, and you know what? It actually fits pretty well. I'm pretty impressed with it. But anyways, I gotta pull the carb off and I gotta put the jack kit in. So here we go. So pull the carb off. You gotta unhook the linkages right here. And the fuel line. The fuel line's pretty simple. It's a small little spring clip. Take a pair of pliers. Walk the spring clip off, the hose clamp basically. It can be a pain in the butt. Just small. Fuel line's off. So basically to pull the carb gently forward. There's linkage right here. So unhook the spring. Get your nail nose on it. Just be careful, don't break it. Pop the spring off. Pull the carb forward. Pull this one, actually the blinker just pops her off, so the carb comes right off like this. So basically you pop the spring off. Linkage is a little 90 on it, pop it straight out, and the carb's off. Now let's see what comes in this kit here. Comes with a spark plug, a bunch of bolts. So here's your jack kit for your carb. He does provide exhaust gasket, the mounting bolts, looks like throttle cable brackets. I'm gonna do a jetting for now. So basically guys, since this is a fresh motor, it's gonna be pretty simple and very clean. All you need is a 10mm wrench. You pop the lower bowl hanger off. Mine was pretty stiff. Might be easier to crack this on the engine for some of you guys, because you don't want to break any of the plastic linkages. So basically pop this off. This holds the float bowl on. And basically the other thing is, remember the orientation. Might be a good idea to probably mark this thing. Little marks. It doesn't matter. The bowl size is the same size, so it doesn't matter on my application. So basically, a flat tip screwdriver, make sure it's clean. You're gonna put it inside here. Spin it counterclockwise. Push down on it, and then turn. Make sure you push down and don't let it skip, because it's just a brass plug. It will strip if you don't put enough force on it. Pop the jet out. This is your main. This main here is 7.0. The new one is, don't know. It's a lot bigger orifice though, so it will let more fuel on wide open throttle. So same thing, and then the other thing is, you need to pop out the venturi tube, I think they call this thing. So put this to the side, don't get mixed up. The new one has different holes in it. And put it back in the same way you pulled it out. Put a new jet in. Wiggle it down till it goes inside there, and just basically turn it gently. And then give it a quick little, make sure you're on there pretty good. Tighten it snug. And then basically put your float bowl back on. You can put it on the same orientation it came off if you want. And that's it. The carb's been rejetted. Tighten your 10mm down. And that's it. Alright guys, since the carb is all rejetted up, the new stuff, you can put it back on. Same application, same way basically. Take the lever, slide the carb on, make sure the gasket's in place here. Slide the carb on. Drop your throttle linkage down. Pull your spring forward. Put your carb back in place, and you put your fuel line back on. And make sure you put your fuel clip back on, your spring clip back on. And now you can put your Venturi on, velocity stack, sorry. Make sure it lines up inside with the orifice, the jet holes. You need a gasket first. It's a gasket I pulled off earlier. And then you can put your nuts on. And I would probably put some Loctite on these. I'm gonna put some Loctite on them. I don't want them vibrating loose. So guys, the only thing left to do basically before I drop it in basically is to pop the spark plug in. It's gonna be easier when the motor's out. So pull the boot off gently, pull back, spark plug tool that they gave you with the engine. You put it on, put your little bar in here, crank it off. This spark plug is an LG. I don't know what brand, if it's any good or whatever it is, but the porcelain looks like junk. It looks cheap. This one comes in an all light racing plug. It's got 4 little prongs on it, so you see a difference. The electrodes are different. The straps, sorry. So pop back in the motor. Thread by hand. Now there's no gasket of this one, which is kind of weary. So I'm guessing this plug will sit down lower. So you can see the spark plug has more mass. So when it goes down the cylinder, it's gonna bump the compression ratio up a bit. It's gonna help lower power. So screw all the way down. This wrench won't work, different size. So make sure you spin the motor over, because this is not a Predator motor. I'm gonna make sure the piston doesn't hit. Alright, so tighten her down. And then put your spark plug boot back on. Next I'm gonna do all the throttle linkage pieces. Since for some reason the Princess Auto motor doesn't come with this piece, I don't know if it comes on the Harbor Freight motor, but I took this off the original motor. This is a C-clip. You pop it off and this is your throttle cable attachment. So the screw goes in the center here and it pinches down the cable. But anyways, so pop this spring off here, lift this assembly up here. There's another spring underneath. Just pull it forward gently and pop it off. And this is your throttle arm. I think I'm gonna cut it off here also because I don't want this piece moving around for no reason. It's a bike motor, not a pump motor or generator. So I'm gonna cut this off right here with a bandsaw real quick, and then I'm gonna put the piece in here. This piece basically just clips in right here, and this C-clip goes on the back side, and this is your throttle linkage. So there you go. Put this on here. Pair of pliers. Push it in place. That's it. And that piece is your throttle there. That's your bottom spring. Like you see, I cut it flush here. I use a bandsaw. You can use a hacksaw and a file. Get rid of this burr. I don't want this thing flopping around. So put the bottom spring on here. This spring here just clips into here. I need a pair of pliers to get in the hole, but it's clipped in place. There you go. Put your spring washer on. The top retainer, which slides underneath here. Lines up there. Just walk it down. And there you go. That's it there. Now put this thing on the top nut. It's got jam. It's this one's not nylon. It's a stainless steel lock nut. Just put it on so it's snug. And the top lock assembly, it clips in place. You'll feel it locks in place. That this is loose, because if this is tight, your throttle is going to be tight. So you don't want it too loose, but put it down until basically this is starting to tighten up a bit, and then back off a little bit. And make sure it goes through a range of motion, full throttle, no throttle, pretty freely, doesn't bind up. And that's there. I guess you could also use this one here. I'm not sure, you flip it around, put on this side. I just took it off because, you know what? I might switch it because this one seems like it's a little more tighter. What I do is take a pick of some sort, your C-clip here. You'll have to do what's on the bench a little easier, but get your snap ring here, pop this clip off. You're gonna remove this throttle crimp. Pop the snap C-clip off. Basically, I put a wrench on here and just pry it off with a screwdriver, and it came off real simple. So swap it over from here to here. This is for the Princess Auto motors. I guess the Harbor Freight motors, they have both of them, but for our motors, you have to switch them over. So now reinstall it. So basically your spring here has to go on over here. Reattach to the bottom linkage here. Make sure your nylon spacer's on there. Oh, make sure your spring goes underneath your plate. Like this, here. Linkage is on. Spring washer. Rashi, put your spring on here. Spring washer on. Your upper plate, it mounts, little fingers go in the hole here. And there's your nut with your stainless steel lock ring in it. So basically you're going to tighten this thing down all the way till it's snug, till Lincoln doesn't move. So now it's very stiff, it locks in place. Back it off a little bit. Until your throttle linkage moves around freely, doesn't bind up. And right here I did cut it off with a bandsaw, and I followed down. So like I said, make sure your throttle moves full throttle, no throttle, freely, doesn't interfere or anything. Our motors have a little bracket here. I'm gonna have to bend down a little bit because it hits up here. There we go. Just play with it until you get the throttle where it's loose. It comes back. And now you can install your kit that he provides in the kit. So basically, this block goes in here. For your throttle cable, go across here, and it bolts into here. Okay guys, I figured the throttle linkage out like you just saw. It moves nice and smooth. the throttle actually closes on the carburetor. So I'm gonna mount the engine plate now, and then I'm gonna mount the engine in place. Alright guys, so the engine plate sits like this. There's nuts welded onto the plate, so I'll just take the bolts out. Try not to lose any parts. So more sit like this. Put Loctite on the bolts if you want. I will afterwards. So mount the plate so the engine tilts forward. Now I never specify if it's easier to put the engine on the plate first or afterwards, but I'm going to do it this way. And you guys can learn from my mistakes. I'm going to leave them loose in case I gotta move the engine around a bit. This thing, I'll position it. So basically, pull your nuts off your upper plate bolts here for engine. And now you can mount the engine in. So I'm going to bolt the plate to the engine first, make it a little easier on myself. Seems to be easier that way. Hey guys, I tried to mount the plate in first and the engine afterwards. It was impossible. I don't know, it's because my motor's a little different than the Predator motors. So I'm going to mount mine to the plate first and see how that goes. The front two bolts are a little pain in the butt a little bit, but So there you go, the engine's mounted to the plate, and I'm going to mount the chassis. I'm worried about this fitting here because on the Harbor Freight one's on the other side, and then I think there might be a challenge with this bike. We're going to find out in a second here. Alright guys, got the engine bolted to the plate, clean the bay. Let's see how she fits. I got a feeling it's gonna bind up. Yep. So I'm gonna pop this fitting off here for now. Lay it to this front. Pull the gas cap off. Or leave it hang forward at least. She's tight, that's all I gotta say. Alright, the motor's in place now. It's very tight. So I'm gonna put the bottom bolts in here to hold it in place so it doesn't slide around me. And there you go, motor's in place. Put the rest of our hardware in. And then I'll line the motor. It's a snug fit. Yeah, it's gonna be a tight fit. This piece will go on here, back in here. I'll have to grind it down a little bit, but I'll make it work. But other than that, I'm gonna line the engine roughly where I think it's gonna be. It has to go more to the left. I think more to the more to the right hand side. Get the clutch on. I'll put the chain on and I'll line it all up. Okay, guys, the engine's in. It's very tight. I'm gonna have to squish a couple things, get a couple things working here. I'm not sure how I'm gonna get this in. I'll mess with it later, but anyways, to line the motor, there's not much you really do. I took a long ruler. I basically put over the clutch itself, clamp the ruler down this side here. I'm on the left hand side, I'm good. Flip this ruler over, same thing. I'm on the left hand side. So this kit does come with a chain guard, clutch guard. So basically you pop this off here, these two clips here. Oh, pretty stiff. And then bolt this piece to the engine here with supplied hardware. It bolts on like this. Looks like I gotta do it with the clutch off, or at least loosen the push off. So I'll loosen it up and I'll move it again. So I will Loctite these bolts. Feels like the pitch is off in these bolts. Yep, it's different pitch. Yeah, the pitch is different. These are really fine. This is probably a 1.25. This is probably a 1.5 hole. So I'll have to get some new bolts. So, alright guys, the bolts that came in the kit were an M8 by 1.0. I don't know. It's the wrong bolts. He supplied me the wrong bolts. These are Honda bolts off a motor, or M8 by 1.25. So, unfortunately, I got the wrong ones. Hopefully you guys don't. So you'll have to go to the hardware store and get some bolts. I'm putting Loctite on my bolts. So I have some, and why not? Cheap insurance. I did make sure you put these bolts all the way in first before you put the cover in, to make sure that it doesn't, you don't want to tighten your bolt down and break the inside cover. So make sure it goes in all the way and it sits almost flush. So when you put this in, you're going to have about a 1/4 inch difference, well, 3/16 difference here. Right now, you can put the supply chain on if you want. This is supposed to be pre-cut. We'll find out if it fits or not. Put your clutch back on. Tighten down, key down. Yeah, this chain's too long. I'm gonna have to cut a link out of it, unfortunately. But I'm gonna actually try the old one back on and see the difference in length. Because all the guys online. So this is a new chain here. Not sure. I'm gonna give it a try here, see what happens. Yeah, so the stock chain's about 4 links too short. So I have to cut a link or two out of this one here. Hey guys, I cut a link out of the chain and she's pretty tight. This is the best I'll get. It's gonna stretch a little bit. It's not a very big, it's a 35 chain. So I line the guard up. The guard fits. Not bad. The guard is a little big. It could go in another. I may re-drill the holes and bring the guard in a lot closer so I get more room for my foot. But for now, this works for now. I'll put the exhaust on for now. I'll put the rear fender on for now. The exhaust on, and then I'll show you what I did to get the gas cap on. So the gasket comes off the motor. The port is actually on the gasket is actually a little smaller than the exhaust port. It actually sits inside, which is not good because the gas will heat up and it'll burn out, and it'll also cause restriction. The one that comes in the kit is pretty close. I just took a little half moon file and I filed it all out, and it's pretty good. Here's exhaust pipe. The gasket matches up pretty decent. So. And the exhaust fits pretty good. So yeah, you're gonna have to put the bolt on here, the back one here on first, because exhaust rests over it. Kind of put it down snug, and then rock the front one off. Just snug down. And then number 10, and tighten down. It's tight, but you can get it. The back bolt's tight, the one in the front's a joke. Easy to do. So there you go. That's on there. For now, I'm gonna wrap it in exhaust wrap later on, but it's for test purposes right now. I just want to get this thing running and see how it drives. But yeah, I want to wrap it up, the whole thing, and so now I'm gonna flip to the other side now, and I'm gonna do the throttle. So the throttle linkage basically goes on like this. There's a little bracket gives you here to clamp on here to clamp the cable nice and neat here. But anyways. Goes through the adjuster. And it goes to the other screw on the other side of the Phillips. You'll have to get creative how to get this nut off. It's a very tight spot for it. This guy's gonna be your kill switch, your on-off switch. I'm not pulling the switch off. I don't want to pull the cover off right now. So basically, I'm just gonna pull it off from the bike here. So basically, pop your ground off here. You can leave it on if you want. It's up to you. Doesn't really matter really. But I'm gonna pop off. So basically this wire here, you disconnect it, and you're gonna plug in basically your red wire into this area here. And that's it. So I just noticed there's another opening here. I basically plugged in my red wire originally from the bike and my ground onto here. I'm leaving the low oil cutoff switch on. I'm gonna drive around and see how it is. But so basically you have two cutoff switches basically. So you can keep this one on basically run. And then, and then basically you can use your factory one. So basically it's all that's left now is the air filter. Jam it on here. Make sure the inside, there's nothing in the inside of it. It's tight. So now you guys with the Power Fist motor, what I did was I tried squishing it down, but unfortunately it doesn't work very well. So for now, this is what I'm gonna use for now until I get a gas can. I got a new gas tank. So basically I broke the cap off, cut the top off, and I ground down the bottom with a bell sander to get it to fit in there better. And it works for now, but I guess the vent valve, I had to grind the side down, so it's pretty open, so it might leak. I'm gonna give it a try, but either way, I want to get a gas tank. I want the gas filler on this side here. Alright guys, everything's done. I double checked everything, and also the other thing is, most of these engines don't come with oil in them, so basically you want to level I put 3 2x4s in the front, level the bike out, fill the full oil, make sure it's good to go. So now I'm going to put some gas in it and take it for a rip, and I'll report back and let you guys know how it runs. Well, there's gas in it. My choke mechanism is going to fall off, so I'm going to have to do it, I guess, manually. Or figure something out for this. Chain's a bit tight. All I gotta say is this thing's fun. Okay guys, my conclusion to this whole swap is the only way to ride this thing without getting the front end from lifting is basically riding about 6 inches from the back, and you crank on it. She'll come up a little bit, about an inch, but other than that, she's a blast. Go around the yard. I've been driving now for about half hour, and it doesn't matter. You crack the throttle, it gives you a smile. But if you're back, you want to pull catwalks, just roll the throttle here, and she'll come right up on you. I bailed it the first time. I didn't realize it. I was, you know, moving along, and I just rolled the throttle and just clutch and gauge, and this thing went right over. Other than that, the install kit is very good. The only thing I recommend though is wrapping that muffler, because my seat, you can feel it after riding for a bit, the seat gets warm. Other than that, everything I needed was there. I didn't have to add anything except for that one bolt right here. I'm really impressed with his kit, so thumbs up to Hot Rod Mini. So I'll leave the link in the description. Sean, I believe is his name. He was very easy to deal with. Based I'd email him, and he emailed me back within, you know, 15, 20, 30 minutes if it's during normal hours, you know. But other than that, I'm impressed with it. The only thing I don't like is that I don't like the air filter being here. I'm gonna maybe later on make it so that filter's right, maybe tucked away right here somewhere. I'll make some something work. I just don't like it there because you hit your leg on it, or if you go to catwalk it and you go to bail, your leg smashes it right here. So, but other than that, the motor runs good. Pretty good. Got some kick to it. Does the job. Anyways guys, I hope this video helps some guys out, and some kids too. So I know like, a lot of young kids ride these things, so someone that's young, it's going to be a fun little machine. So like me in the yard, I'm 185 pounds, and it'll give me a good smile. So good luck guys.